Hey everyone, how you doing? Welcome back. I'm Fuzz, and today I've got a list of my top 10 favorite hijacking movies on physical media. I've always been a pretty big fan of this particular subgenre of action movies, so I thought it'd be fun to put together a list of what I think are some of the best hijacking movies ever made. Hijacking movies, of course, by definition, are movies that involve the unlawful seizure of some kind of vehicle, right? Whether it be a plane or a train or a boat or some kind of like public transit vehicle. And of course, the hijacking is usually for some nefarious purpose. So that's what I've got going on here today. And let's just dive right in and rock this. All right, so first up, we've got a Chuck Norris film here. Chuck Norris and Lee Marvin. I'm talking about The Delta Force. Great film, and I only have this Blu-ray right now. It has actually received a 4K release since I bought this Blu-ray. I believe it's Shout Studios that put out a 4K. I just haven't gotten around to upgrading it yet, and I may upgrade it. I haven't actually decided if I even want to upgrade this title to 4K. I'm just not sure if I really need it on 4K because this is a pretty good Blu-ray and it works for me. But it's a great hijacking film from 1986, one of those old Canon Films movies. Chuck Norris, Lee Marvin, and then you also got Robert Forster in this, and he's like the leader of the hijackers. And the first time I saw this movie, I didn't even realize that was Robert Forster. He did such a good job, and he had like a thick accent that he uses in this film, and he's very convincing. And I didn't even recognize him at first, and then I realized, oh, holy crap, that's Robert Forster. I'm a big Robert Forster fan. I've always loved him in anything I've seen him in. So when I saw that he was in this film, I was pretty excited about it. Anyway, it's a great film if you've never seen it. It's got a lot of great action in it, as you'd expect with a Chuck Norris movie. And it's actually got a pretty good story, too. This is probably one of my favorite Chuck Norris films if we set aside Invasion USA. Yeah, this one ranks pretty high for me. In fact, I may have to do a Chuck Norris video one of these days, do like a top 10 Chuck Norris films list at some point down the line. But I suspect this one would rank pretty high on that list. So if you've never seen it, this one's a lot of fun. So Delta Force for my number 10. And for my number 9, we've got an awesome hijacking film here from 1996 starring Kurt Russell and Halle Berry. I'm talking about Executive Decision, which I have in this little triple feature pack here. I just showed you guys this triple feature pack in my last video. For context, when I was reviewing Swordfish in 4K, the new Arrow Video 4K release of Swordfish. But today, we're not talking about Swordfish. We're not talking about Point Break. We're talking about Executive Decision, which is a really fun film, and it's got a solid cast as well. Kurt Russell, like I said, Halle Berry, but you also got like John Leguizamo is in this, and some other people too. Steven Seagal even makes an appearance in this film. He doesn't have a huge role, but you definitely notice his presence in this movie. Now, this is a movie I would love to see get a 4K release at some point so I can finally retire this triple feature release that I have on Blu-ray, because I already have Swordfish on 4K. I already have Point Break on 4K. So I don't really need this except for Executive Decision. But I honestly wouldn't be surprised if we did get like some kind of boutique release at some point. Like maybe from Kino Lorber or like Vinegar Syndrome. I could even see this being the type of movie where Vinegar Syndrome gives it like the full like VSU box set treatment. I mean, this seems like the kind of title that might appear in the VSU line, so that wouldn't surprise me at some point. And if that did happen, I would be pretty excited about it because I'm a big Kurt Russell fan. So having this one in 4K, that would be pretty cool. Kurt Russell basically plays like some kind of like military analyst, like U.S. Army intelligence, I think, if I remember correctly. So he's brought on as like a consultant in this hijacking that's occurred. And I won't go into the details as to why the hijacking is occurring. I'll let you guys discover that on your own if you've never seen this film. But if you've never seen this film, it is a really fun film. And if you're a fan of hijacking movies, then I could see this one being right up your alley. So for my number 9, Executive Decision. All right, moving right along to my number 8. We've got a film from 1992 here, little Wesley Snipes action, and Tom Sizemore. I am talking about Passenger 57. Great film. And this one happens to be one of those movies that's really rewatchable too for me. Almost kind of a comfort movie, right? I'm sure it is for some of you out there as well. It's a fun ride. I'm not a whole lot to really say about this one. I would like to see this one get a 4K release at some point because it is a lot of fun, and I would definitely upgrade this to 4K if I got a 4K if we got a 4K release at some point, because I do love movies like this, and this kind of film would be perfect. 90s action movies are perfect for 4K. They're like the perfect candidates a lot of times for 4K releases. So, I could see this one being right at home on 4K. If by some chance you haven't seen this film, it's one I would recommend if you're a fan of hijacking movies. It's a fun one. Wesley Snipes basically plays like a security expert, and he gets drawn in to this hijacking. And I'll just leave it at that for those of you who've never seen it. But it's a film I'd recommend if you're a fan of this particular subgenre. So I don't know what else I can really say about that. I hope we get it on 4K at some point. But Wesley Snipes in Passenger 57 for my number 8. All right, and next up for my number 7, we've got a Wes Craven film here, and it's not a horror film. He is certainly an iconic, legendary horror director, but this is a film that he did that was a little bit different, and I really, really enjoyed it. I'm talking about Red Eye from 2005. Great film, and I've got a Paramount's Presents 4K release here. In fact, one thing I want to show you about these releases, I like them. They're slightly collectible, right? They give you kind of a cool slipcover. It's not anything. This is like Paramount's version. This is their attempt to kind of be more boutique-y, right? To be more like a boutique. And so like the big collectible item that they give you here is a gatefold slipcover. So what they do with the slipcover is they put some new art on the front like that, and it's kind of got a nice kind of almost metallic sheen to it. And I'll show you the back too. Here, let me show you the back real quick. I'll leave it there for a second. You guys can pause it if you want. But it's a nice looking slipcover. I mean, it's nothing, amazing. It's still just a slipcover, but and then it opens up like that, and you get a gatefold, the original poster art that that was originally produced for the movie when it first came out. Yeah, they always do that. They put the new art on the front, and then the original poster art in the gatefold slipcover there like that. It's kind of cool. And then they give you these clear cases too, and it's a 4K release, but they use these clear cases instead of the standard black 4K releases. So I don't know. The Paramount Presents line, it's nothing that amazing. I mean, it's cool that they have it, but it's not gonna compete with Arrow or Vinegar Syndrome in terms of quality, right? But I do kind of like the gatefold slipcovers. I think they're kind of fun. I have a few of these. I don't have that many Paramount Presents 4Ks, but I do have a few titles like this, and I enjoy them. Anyway, but enough of that. Let's briefly talk about the movie here. You would expect a Wes Craven movie to be a horror extravaganza, right? Because Wes Craven, that's his main jam, or was his main jam when he was alive. But this is almost like an action thriller, I think, which was totally out of character for Wes Craven, but he pulled it off wonderfully. And this is a little bit of a different take on the hijacking angle. There is a hijacking involving a plane, but it's not necessarily the plane that's being hijacked. So I'll just leave it at that. It's best that it's best if you've never seen this film, it's best that you go in totally blind. At least that's my view. I wouldn't even bother really reading the synopsis. This is one of those films that works best if you don't know much about it at all, and you just go right into it and just kind of let the story wash over you and just take you where it's going to take you. But it is a really fun film, and it's actually, if I'm being totally honest, it's one of my favorite Wes Craven films, which I know is a pretty intense thing to say considering his credentials, right? But I actually really like this one quite a bit. So for my number 7 on 4K from Paramount Presents, Red Eye. Okay, and next up for my my number six here, we have a different kind of hijacking movie or a different kind of take on the whole hijacking subgenre. I'm talking about a classic, Hunt for Red October. This is from 1990, and I love this film. This is one of those films that's highly rewatchable for me. It's a comfort movie for me. I never seem to get tired of watching this one, but it's maybe not a hijacking movie in the way that we traditionally think of one, but make no mistake about it. A Russian nuclear sub is being hijacked here, whether everybody involved knows it or not. So it's just such a great film, and it's a pretty solid looking 4K as well. I wouldn't call it like a reference 4K or anything like that, but the film looks probably better than it ever has on 4K. So yeah, just a classic film. I'm sure a lot of you are very familiar with this one. So I had to at least mention it. If we're talking about hijacking videos or hijacking movies, I mean, this seemed appropriate in my mind. So yeah, for my number six, The Hunt for Red October. By the way, if you're enjoying the content on this channel, do me a favor and please consider subscribing to the channel. And if you do, don't forget to activate those notifications as well so you can be alerted whenever I'm posting videos that you might be interested in. Also, don't forget to like the video as well. It really does help with the channel's visibility and the YouTube algorithm. Thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate it. All right, and next up for my number five, another one of these deals where it's kind of a slight twist on the hijacking angle, but I just had to do it. I'm talking about Die Hard 2 from 1990. This is a great film that I always watch every year around Christmas time with Die Hard. I usually watch Die Hard the first and then go right into the second one after that, within a day or so, if not immediately. So big fan of this film. I've got, of course, Die Hard 2 in the 5-movie Blu-ray pack here. And, we definitely need all of these movies on 4K, or at least like the first 4. Right. Well, we've got Die Hard on 4K, but we've never gotten Die Hard 2, 3, 4, or 5. And, I don't really care about 5, but I do like 2, 3, and 4 quite a bit. And for our purposes here today, yeah, Die Hard 2, it's a different kind of a take on the hijacking angle, but make no mistake about it, multiple planes are in fact being hijacked and held hostage by a bad guy. And I'll just leave it at that if by some chance you've never seen this film. But yeah, I'm a big fan of the Die Hard movies. And as far as hijacking movies go, I think Die Hard is a really solid one. So yeah, for my number five, Die Hard 2. All right, and moving right along to my number four, we've got a movie here where you actually have a couple different options, and I think they're both equally as good. In my humble opinion, you can go with the classic option or the modern option. And I'm talking about the movie Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3. I happen to have the classic option in my hands here. So we'll talk about that first. I got the 4K release here from Kino Lorber, and it's a fantastic looking 4K, by the way, if you're a fan of this film. So this is the old original Walter Matthau classic film from the 70s. But if you want more of a slick, more modern look, a little more stylized version of the film, you can always go with the Denzel Washington and John Travolta, Tony Scott directed version. This came out in like 2009, I believe, and this is a really good film. Of course, I'm a big fan of Tony Scott, so I wasn't going to have a problem with this one, and I'll put this one down so you can take a look there. Yeah, I love Tony Scott. You guys know that, right? So, but I mean, this isn't one of my favorite Tony Scott movies, but I still think it's a good movie. I think the remake was pretty solid. I mean, you can't go wrong with Denzel Washington, and John Travolta was awesome in this as well. So, yeah, I mean, and to be fair, this is the first time I saw the film. The first time I saw the film was the Tony Scott version. I didn't see this until, a number of years later. And I like them both. I think they're both great films. films. You can't go wrong with either one. But just depending on the vibe you're going for, if you want that kind of darker, grittier 1970s New York City vibe, then you probably want to go with the classic version. But if you want something more slick and modern and contemporary looking, then go with the Tony Scott version. But either way, they're both great films. We're talking about a train hijacking here in both cases, like a subway train. And yeah, just this film is a fun ride no matter which version you go with. So yeah, for my number 4, The Taking of Pelham 123. All right, and next up for my number 3, we've got another classic here, especially in terms of like hijacking movies. You definitely can't go wrong with this one. From 1997, I'm talking about Con Air. Great film, right? Nicolas Cage, John Malkovich. Of course, we're talking about a prison, like a maximum security prison transport plane here, and that's what's actually being hijacked, and just a lot of fun. And apparently we're getting this one on 4K at some point. It has been announced that it's that they're planning on releasing this on 4K at some point in the future. We don't have a release date or anything like that yet, but I think we got word that they are working on this for 4K, and that'll be a day one purchase on 4K for me because, again, such a classic film. Really, in many ways, kind of culturally iconic in terms of representing, the 90s, right? The epitome of the 90s action movie. That's essentially what Con Air actually is, right? It's the ultimate 90s action film. Right. So, yeah, you can't go wrong with something like this. So looking forward to eventually getting that 4K release for my number 3, Con Air. Okay, and for my number 2, a movie I just watched last night, actually. This is one of these movies I rewatch quite often. It's a big-time comfort movie for me, and, another classic, of course, as well. I'm talking about Speed from 1994. You definitely can't go wrong with Speed, right? Total classic. So this one I saw in the theaters when it first came out, and this is a great looking 4K. I mean, I don't know if I'd call it like a demo-worthy 4K, but it looks pretty good. It looks faithful to the film I remembered seeing in the theater when it first came out. So and looks faithful to what I would have expected this film to look like in 4K. But just an awesome film with Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock, of course. And this is a slight twist on the hijacking angle, although we do get kind of a double whammy as far as like hijackings go in this movie. So first off, you've got the bad guy hijacking a bus, but he's doing it remotely without actually being present on the bus, right? But then in the third act of the film, same bad guy, you got another hijacking later on, right? A hijacking of like a transit train. So, yeah, you get kind of a double whammy there. You get like 2 hijackings for the price of 1. And yeah, just such an awesome film. And it's a big time comfort movie for me. This is one that I always enjoy revisiting. And, it's one of those movies where if I'm not sure what I want to watch and I'm having a hard time deciding what to put on, I will put on Speed. So, I mean, among others, but it's one of those movies that's like a go-to when I'm having troubles trying to figure out what to watch, and I just want something comforting and something that I'm ultra familiar with. But anyway, I've talked about Speed quite a few times on the channel before, so enough of that. For my number 2, Speed. And then finally, for my number 1, one of the greatest hijacking movies, in my humble opinion, ever. This involves Harrison Ford, and we're talking about 1997's Air Force One, which I have here on the 4K Steelbook, and I'll let you take a look for those of you who've never seen this one. Great Steelbook from what it was, Sony? I think it's Sony. I bought this, the Steelbook, for the art. I absolutely love the art on this, but such a great film too, right? I mean, Harrison Ford as the badass president, and Gary Oldman, who's always just a stellar actor in pretty much anything he does. Gary Oldman as the bad guy in this one, and he does a great job as well. He's a real evil guy, real sinister guy. But this is another one of those films that just has a lot of rewatch value for me. A lot of those classic 90s action vibes that I always love, and I love the nostalgia for that kind of stuff. So yeah, I always have a good time returning to this one, and I think it's fair to say this is in the comfort movie territory. I mean, I don't rewatch it as often as other comfort movies, but it's definitely in comfort movie territory, and it's the kind of film that well, I could see being kind of comforting when I'm in that mood where I need something kind of comforting, right? But anyway, I just love it. And in many ways, I mean, it's like the ultimate hijacking movie. I mean, because they're hijacking Air Force One. So you just can't go wrong with that kind of premise. Anyway, awesome hijacking film. Great looking 4K. If by some chance you've never seen this one, I would definitely recommend it for fans of hijacking movies. It's, again, like I said, I think it's kind of the ultimate hijacking movie. So yeah, for my number one, Air Force One. All right, so that covers my top 10 list. But of course, as always, I also have a few honorable mentions that I want to breeze through real quick here. Just a few. I'm not going to spend much time on these at all. First up, from 1992, a little Steven Seagal action, Under Siege. In this case, we're talking about a boat that's being hijacked. So yeah, good stuff. I don't know how much I can really say about this one. It's not like the greatest film out there, but it's got a certain amount of comfort to it, a comfort value, and certainly some rewatchability, right? It's a fun ride, even though it's Steven Seagal. And I'll be honest, I'm not the biggest Steven Seagal fan, but I can appreciate some of the stuff he's done, but I'm not as into him as I am, other action stars like, Jean-Claude Van Damme or, of course, Arnold or Stallone. I just never thought Seagal measured up in quite the same way. But I do like Under Siege, and I don't think I've ever seen Under Siege 2. I've got the triple feature here, just talking about Under Siege. I've never seen the second one, though, but for my honorable mention, or first honorable mention, yeah, Under Siege from 1992, just a fun film, but not quite worthy, in my mind, of making the top 10. So, yeah, Under Siege. And then another movie worth mentioning, I thought, was a little Liam Neeson action in Nonstop. This is from, what is this, 2014. And this is a fun film, kind of a little bit of a twist on the hijacking thing, but definitely has a strong hijacking component to it. I think this is probably one of the better Liam Neeson action vehicles out there, setting aside the Taken movies, of course, right? But as far as action films and Liam Neeson goes, I've always thought this is one of the better ones that he's done. Now, admittedly, there are some I haven't seen, but of the ones I've seen, yeah, I like Nonstop. I thought it was pretty decent. So yeah, Nonstop. And then this next honorable mention is a movie I don't even own on Blu-ray at this point. I wouldn't mind owning it on Blu-ray, but it appears that it did get a Blu-ray release at some point, but that's like out of print now, or at least it appears to be. So I still have this old, believe it or not, wow, I was buying full screen back then. I'm talking about Flight Plan, and what is this from? 2005, and apparently I bought a full screen DVD. I guess I liked full screen back then before I really knew anything about aspect ratios and all that. So yeah, Flight Plan. I haven't even watched this DVD in many, many years, since long before I even got back into collecting, 4 or 5 years ago. So, I mean, I've had this for a long time now. And I just never got around to upgrading it to Blu-ray. And apparently it did get a Blu-ray release at one point, but that's long gone now, long out of print now. And, I feel like I saw or read somewhere that this is actually a candidate for a 4K release, that this might actually be getting a 4K release at some point. Now, I don't know don't quote me on that. I'm not sure if that's accurate or not. I'm kind of like stretching my memory here, trying to remember if that's actually what I saw. I want to make sure I'm not confusing this for some other movie, but I feel like I saw something fairly recently, just kind of glanced by it, that said this might actually be coming out on 4K. And if it does, I will definitely pick it up on 4K. I think it's a fun film. Jodie Foster, I always like Jodie Foster in most of what she's done. She's just a really good actress. But this film, I'd say it's kind of a mindfuck, at least for Jodie Foster's character. So yeah, Yeah, I don't know. I'm hoping we do get a 4K release so that I can actually revisit this one because honestly, I don't watch DVDs anymore at all. I don't have the desire to even watch a movie like this on DVD, even if it's the only way that's available to me at this time, right? I'll just go without the movie. So I guess I am kind of hoping this gets a new updated release. So that I can rewatch it again. But I do remember enjoying it. It was a pretty fun film. So, Flight Plan. Uh, and then the last honorable mention, and I won't say too much about this because I did a whole review on it, but I thought I'd mention Drop Zone real quick there. More Wesley Snipes action. The whole movie isn't about a hijacking, but it does have a hijacking component. So that's why it's in the honorable mentions and not in the top 10. But I did a whole review on this, I guess, a couple months ago. So if you didn't check out that review, this is the Vinegar Syndrome 4K. I actually think this is going to be in contention for one of the top 10 best 4Ks of the year. We will see when everything's said and done. By the time I get to December, we'll see what all's been released. But this is a damn good looking 4K. I was actually a little bit surprised at how good this came out on 4K. Vinegar Syndrome did an excellent job. So yeah, my last honorable mention. When did this come out? Yeah, 1994. All right, so yeah, for my last honorable mention, 1994's Drop Zone. Okay, so that about wraps it up for my top 10 favorite hijacking movies on physical media. Let me know what you think of my list in the comments below. I always love hearing from you guys. And if you guys have got any recommendations for some of your favorite hijacking movies, and they're movies that I've never seen before, definitely leave me a comment. I'm always on the lookout for hijacking movies, good hijacking movies that I haven't seen. So always appreciate your recommendations and your tips and hearing from you guys. So make sure you leave me some feedback down below. Also, don't forget to like the video and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Thank you so much for watching today, guys. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you soon.